So the Kings get the win last night. Moving on to San Antonio next.
Mm-hmm.
You got Indiana after that. Coupled with Houston before this thing wraps up and they get back to the Golden One Center to take on I missed one. The Pelicans are in there. My bad. I missed the Pelicans. Pelicans are in this here too. But there was a report from Mark Stein that, again, it's that time. We're 8-9 days away. It's that time where names are out there, teams are out there, stuff is out there.
Looking for 2 first-round picks.
Apparently, everybody in the league, as it stands right now, is worth 2 first-round picks.
2 first-round picks for Austin Rivers. That's the price.
Oh my God. You'd have to take 2 first-round picks to take Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers could destroy a locker room in one fell swoop. My goodness. But the one that the Kings have been attached to, according to Mark Stein, is a name that Kings fans have actually talked about a lot in recent years, plural, and that's Matisse Thybulle of the Philadelphia 76ers. Level of interest, I don't know. Monitoring, okay. Feel like there's probably 20 teams monitoring the situation going on with 20 other teams. But when you talk about the needs of the Sacramento Kings, okay, I see why Matisse Thybulle's name is being brought up. What do you think about? By the way, qualifying offer 6.2 this offseason, restricted free agent the following year. Qualifying offer again 6.2 million.
I like Matisse Thybulle. I like what he brings to the table. I like his defensive prowess out there. He's good. He's a good defensive player. But Sacktown Baby Giraffe, shout out Tim Maxwell. He tweeted out, after hearing this report last night, he was like, Thybulle's an interesting target for the Kings. He solves some defensive problems, but he offers zero offensive ability. He's essentially a better KZ Okpala. I can't imagine the cost would be particularly high, something akin to Davis and second rounders. And I said, then why not just keep KZ Okpala?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Sorry, no one informed me Terrence was a part of this.
Yeah. I think that's what made me respond. Like, no, I'm not interested.
Wait a minute. I don't know about that.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in Matisse Thybulle for Terrence Davis. And once again, like, because people were in the comments, and I'm not saying KZ's definitely better than him, but they're like, yo, Thybulle's a way better defender than KZ. Is he? Is he really? And what has that gotten Philly? Like, he's been unplayable. He was unplayable in the playoffs last year because he was so god awful on the defensive end. They had him as a defensive guy in the playoffs against Atlanta. That didn't help. They had him with the defensive guy with Ben Simmons on the court as well. That didn't help. Like, Thybulle's cool, but if I have to give up something to get him, I'd rather just keep the guys I have and play KZ Okpala. Because once again, this also goes back to he's not going to – Matisse Thybulle, if he's that much of a liability on the offensive end, he's not going to be on the floor in the final 6 minutes of a game. He's not. Who you taking out?
Yeah.
That's what I always say. You gonna take out Kevin Huerter? You gonna take out Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray? No. So if I got to give anything up for him, I'm not interested. I'd rather just play KZ Okpala. But I'd like to know what you think and what everybody else thinks as well. Like, maybe I'm overvaluing KZ or whatever the case may be, but even if Thybulle is better, KZ can't be that far off.
Yeah, I guess it boils down to, what are you going to do with Matisse? Because you barely play KZ Okpala now. Matisse Thybulle isn't like a much better offensive player, or maybe a better offensive player at all.
He's not at all. He was unplayable in Philadelphia.
They're
going for a championship and they're willing to trade him. That says a lot to me. And they be willing to trade him for nothing, essentially. Some second rounders. They're trying to win a championship. They're looking to get rid of him.
I wouldn't. You lost me with Terrence. I immediately decided the answer was no.
And I think that's why I responded.
Like, I just immediately no. And I know we have I don't think either one of us have zero issue with. Now, we're very biased when it comes to Terrence Davis.
Yeah, it's my guy.
But we're also very understanding of the situation that Terrence is in, his situation with this team, and more importantly, the situation with his contract. When you're an expiring contract, you're valuable across the league. But I think Terrence can do enough. We saw it last night. And that's probably a conversation we should get into with Jason Jones when he joins us. It's something I teased 3 hours ago and never followed up on. Can the Kings play that level of defense that we saw last night consistently or more consistently? Because Terrence was a big part of that. Malik was a big part of that. It's not like it was Davion and KZ Okpala out there, the two guys we consider, the best defensive guys on the team. Right. It's not like they were out there guarding everybody, doing everything in the final minutes of that game and into overtime. Everybody stepped up a little bit and were able to play well against the team that had been playing really well over the last couple of weeks, teams that had beat you just a couple of nights before. If you want Alex Lynn, hey, maybe we can talk. I don't have any interest in moving Terrence Davis for an offensive issue. Fit-wise, in terms of what Mike Brown preaches on a night-to-night basis, I get why Matisse Thybulle is in the conversation.
Absolutely.
I just don't know. Is it a trade for the sake of a trade?
That's exactly what it sounds like. Especially when you have a guy. And once again, I'm not here to argue who's better defensively. Like if for all the people that say Thybulle is better than KZ, you can have that. I'm not here to argue that. But that's not a game changer when you have a capable perimeter defender right here and you just won't play him.
So let's remove our Terrence Davis bias here. What was Katie saying last night? There's no 3 minutes in the last handful of games for Terrence. So does Matisse Thybulle play more regularly than Terrence Davis does?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe the first question is, does Matisse Thybulle play more regularly than KZ Okpala does? That's a start. If the answer is that, okay, let's go to the next barometer. Yeah. Does he play more regularly? Terrence Davis does not play regularly, whether we agree with it or Kings fans agree with it or anybody agree or Terrence agrees with it. He doesn't. If Mike can look at or Mike and Monty can look at Matisse Thybulle and say, no, we can make him a regular part of our rotation, and here's how we do it. Okay, I'll trust him. I just don't understand how you do it when you don't do it with KZ Okpala. Because I'm just a broadcast journalist who likes to watch basketball.
There he is.
I've never been let down, confused, head scratched by what KZ Okpala does on the floor. Every time I see him, it's like, I get it. Like, I understand why he's out there. He does a lot of things, especially on that end, really, really well. But he doesn't play regularly. So when you're talking about defense, and you got this guy who really does play pretty good perimeter defense, but you don't play him very often, I don't know whether to make heads or tails of it. If the argument is the offensive end, I got you. That's not your answer, though. Being Matisse Thybulle, that's not your answer. I don't know who your answer is. Maybe that's the best answer you can get, but I don't know that truly helps the issues that you face. It might help one while creating another, because where's that game go last night? As much as Terrence did some stuff on the defensive end and disrupted over there, he hit shots. What if those shots don't fall last night or aren't taken?
Yeah. You need in my opinion, you need a player like Terrence Davis on the roster. You need a player like Matisse Thybulle on the roster. I'm not saying you don't, but you already have.
So
both.
This is dumb.
You already have both.
This is dumb. The thing that makes the most sense to me is if you're going to do this is if it's KZ Okpala that gets traded.
Yeah.
Because then you're okay. You believe you're upgrading KZ Okpala. Okay, now you're going to find minutes for Matisse Thybulle. Okay, that I would understand a little bit more. Having KZ Okpala and Matisse Thybulle, you march him out there with Davion. Is that the death lineup? Murderers Row. I don't.
That's for your own offense. That's what it would be.
It's facts. That is 100% accurate.
Yeah. No, I
like Thybulle. I've always liked Thybulle.
Yeah.
We've always envisioned him as a king if they could pull it off, given how bad this defense has regularly been. In my head, I can't make this compute, though.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Exact same way. Like I said, I like him. But you said it perfectly. It feels like it would be making a trade just to make